Good morning, dear students. I am your SST teacher again with you. As you have already read chapter 1, Resources and Development from your social science book and done all the question answers and the revision part. And again in this revision video, we'll be doing the key points of the lesson as a quick revision notes. Resources and their types. All of you are very much aware about this fact that resources are those available things in our environment which can be used to satisfy our needs and are technological, accessible, economically feasible and culturally acceptable. And here the description, the classification of resources given in the following manner. You can classify the resources on the basis of their origin. Number 2, exhaustibility. Number 3, ownership. Number 4, status of development. Your second topic is development of resources. Resources are not free gifts to the human race, and hence they need to be utilized prudently. Number 2, indiscriminate use of resources leads to the following problems, as depletion of resources from the nature, which may affect the healthy livelihoods of the people. For example, the water crisis faced by the Cape Town in 2015 was due to the indiscriminate use of water. Number 2, accumulation of resources in the hands of the few. This may lead to the division of society in haves and have-nots. Number 3, adverse impacts on environment which may lead to global ecological crisis. For example, global warming, ozone layer depletion, environmental pollution, degrading air quality of Delhi is another example of this. The term sustainable development was coined by Brundtland Commission report of 1987, and therefore you people can describe the concept of sustainable development as a new concept which advocates for a kind of economic development which is environmental friendly and which lasts for a longer period of time. It has two components. Number 1, development should take place without damaging the environment. And number 2, development in present should not compromise with the needs of future generation. My next topic is resource planning. Resource planning is the way to promote judicious use of the resource. It involves the making strategy for prudent allocation of the resources, and the need of resource planning can be understood from the following. Number 1, it prevents the over-exploitation of the resources and promotes sustainable development. Number 2, it solves the problems of disparity in regional distribution of the resources. Now, how this resource planning done in India? In India, it is a resource-rich country, and availability of vast and diverse resources mandates the resource planning in India. There exists a regional disparity in resources availability in India. There are regions which are rich in one resource but deficient in another. For example, Arunachal Pradesh is rich in water resource but lacks infrastructure development. Similarly, Rajasthan is rich in wind and solar energy but lacks water resources. This calls for the balanced resource planning at national, regional and local levels. India has made efforts in the direction of resource planning right from the first 5-year plan. Your next topic is the conservation of resource. Resource conservation is the method of protecting and preventing resources from the depletion by promoting their prudential use. Since resources are scarce, it is important to conserve them for our future generation. And we have a needs of resource conservation. That is, it prevents the resource from getting depleted. It promotes the judicious use of resource. It preserves the resource for future generation and promotes sustainable development. And it helps in economic development of the country. Now, how land resources are utilized and how their land use pattern done. You can describe the land resources. It is a natural resource pattern which supports the natural vegetation, wildlife, human life, economic activities, transport and communication system. India has a variety of relief features like mountains, plateaus, plains, islands, etc. Land use pattern, it is determined by the following factors. Number 1, topography. Number 2, climate. Number 3, soil types. Number 4, availability of technology and other supporting resources like power, irrigation facilities, and the population densities. Mostly are wasteland areas which includes rocky, arid and desert areas, and land put to the other non-agricultural uses includes settlements, roads, railways, industries, etc. The cultural wasteland is a land that is left uncultivated for more than 5 agricultural years. The current fallow land is a land that is left without cultivation for 1 or less than 1 agricultural year, and the lands that are left uncultivated for the past 1 to 5 agricultural years are known as the land other than current fallow. Your next topic is soil as a resource. We can define the soil is an important resource as it provides medium for plant growth and support other living organisms on the earth. Factors contributing the formation of soil include relief, parent rock or bedrock, climate, vegetation and time. And the forces of the nature which contribute to soil formation are change in temperature, action of running water, wind and glaciers, activities of decomposers, and the chemical or organic changes that take place in the soil. Classification of the soil. Varying relief features of India and climate changes have given rise to the different parts of the soil in different regions of India. On the basis of the type of soil, we can differentiate the different soils and name them as alluvial soil, black cotton soil or rigour soil, red and yellow soil, lead red soil, arid soil and forest soil. The next one topic is the soil erosion and soil conservation. The naturally occurring process that leads to the wearing away of the soil cover and subsequent layer of the soil is known as the soil erosion, and it is caused by the action of natural forces like running water, wind and glaciers. Erosion of soil leads to decline in the quality of the soil in the following manner. Number 1, it results in the denudation of the topsoil, which contain organic matter and is fertile in nature. Number 2, it makes soil unfit for agriculture. Number 3, it increases the salinity of the soil by exposing the underlying layer of the soil. Number 5, it alters the nutrient balance in soil and adversely affects the useful microorganism in the soil. I hope everything is clear with you people. Thank you so much. Good day.